You stink.
Greg Kinnear, Jaimin Hanshu of Amistad, and more after your local news next.
Good evening. Coming up next on the Newswatch 35 Night Beat, you'll be paying more and getting less next year if you live in the city of Erie. We'll tell you what's on the way and what's not for residents in 1998. And behind bars again, we'll have the story of Nala the lioness and her two-day adventure. The Night Beat is next.
More people get their news from 35 WSEE than any other Erie station. Now, Newswatch 35 Night Beat.
The price of entertainment is a high priority for Erie residents, and it just might pay off. But what about the rest of the Erie city budget? Good evening, and thank you for staying up with the Newswatch 35 Night Beat. I'm Drew Sugars.
And I'm Narissa Sugars. If you live in the city of Erie, you'll pay more for sewer and refuse services and get less fire and police protection next year. And for now, a new amusement tax is a no-go. Newswatch 35's Carol Wilson was at tonight's budget session. She joins us now from the newsroom. And Carol, let's start with the budget first. Is it a done deal now?
Yes, Narissa, it is. Council, as expected, passed the spending plan. It's a $44 million spending plan. The biggest hue and cry, though, is not about the budget, but about a proposed amusement tax.
The first time in my life for 25 or 26 years that I did this. But I did it because I knew there was nothing else we could do.
It was an historic vote for Councilmember Mario Bagnoni, the first time ever he's voted in favor of public safety cuts. Bagnoni and others say they had no choice.
It's not an easy job when you're faced with the reality of becoming a distressed city, bankruptcy.
We did the best we could for all the citizens.
Here's the impact the new budget will have on you if you're a city resident. First, the amount you'll pay for sewage goes up, an average of nearly $5 a quarter to more than $51. You'll pay $5 more a year for garbage pickup. Council also voted to leave 10 vacant police jobs unfilled and lay off 8 firefighters. Engine company number 10 will close down, and council eliminated extra money in contingency funds. But the majority of citizens, more than 30, raised their voices not against cuts or layoffs, but against a proposed amusement tax that Councilmember Jim Thompson had suggested.
I honestly believe that if it passes, the Roadhouse Theater will close its doors.
And it's not an endless money pit. People have limited disposable income, and I think that an increased tax like this does more to decrease the tax base in the long run than it does to provide a solution for a quick fix or a problem such as this.
Now, council voted down the resolution after much discussion and debate and the hearing from the public, of course, to have the city solicitor draft that proposed amusement tax ordinance. So for right now, it looks like that is not going to be a way the city can plan on raising money. Narissa?
Carol, it's gone now, but could it possibly come up again in the future?
Well, that's always a possibility. Remember, 4 new council members join the panel next year, which is just next month, and it will be a whole new ball game then, so who knows what will happen.
All right, thank you, Carol Wilson, reporting from our newsroom.
Well, Bill Schubert is here with your Storm Team First Alert forecast, and we've had a run of days, some pretty nice weather, hoping it can last.
Oh, we're going to do it. We're going to continue to get that snow melted a little bit right through the end of the week, but we do have a potential problem tonight. That's freezing fog.
Ooh.
Yeah, with temperatures below freezing, some of the roads can become very, very slick. So please, if you run into a big patch of fog, slow way down, because that fog will freeze on the trees, it'll freeze on the streets, and could cause some very serious problems. Look at the forecast for tonight. Patchy low clouds and, yes, freezing fog down to as low as 19 in some of the inland valley sections, 30 along the lake shore. And for tomorrow, partly sunny and warmer. We'll get rid of all that mess, 40 to 45. Tomorrow night, partly cloudy, not much freezing problems, 30 to 37. And we'll sneak into the weekend a little bit of everything.
All right, see you in a bit, Bill.
Okay, thanks, Bill. Well, the Erie Water Authority will have a completely different look next year. Erie City Council voted tonight on 4 recommendations for new members. They are Robert Bazanko, Khalil Rabat, Richard Markowitz, and Dorothy Smith. 2 of the openings occurred when a judge ruled 2 ousted members could not serve since they weren't served by city water. Well, imagine spending half your life in one home and then being told you have to sell because a highway is coming through, like it or not. Then you learn before you move you have to spend thousands of dollars to connect to a water line that's coming through, like it or not. Well, one Harbor Creek couple knows all about right-of-ways. They're getting squeezed from both sides.
In 1994, Ron Cayley and his wife Joanne learned they would have to sell their home of 20 years.
You see, the Cayley's house is on Station Road in Harbor Creek, right in the way of the future East Side Connector, a massive road project that will one day connect the Bayfront to Interstate 90 via East Erie County. Last May, the Cayleys were still waiting for PennDOT to buy their property. 3 years of putting their lives on hold only compounded their frustration.
Is it fair? Is it fair that we have to wait that many years? Let us get on with our life.
And now, the long wait has opened the door to yet another dilemma for the Cayleys. They're being told they must contribute up to $8,000 to the Harbor Creek Township water line that will run to I-90 and Route 430.
Like I live where I live for 23 years, or what? I raised a family there.
Wednesday night, Cayley and more than 24 other homeowners facing a similar problem got the chance to plead their case before both Harbor Creek supervisors and a PennDOT representative. They learned there isn't much that can be done.
Well, the township supervisors are bound by state law and a township code, and we have to assess properties uniformly. So we can't really leave some people out and assess other people.
Just losing your house is trauma enough. You know, you raise your family in it, and all of a sudden, you know, they say, "What? You got to get out because the highway's coming through." And then the long wait, we have to put up with that. Now we have the water, so 3 whammies that we got hit with.
Well, there is some good news for the Cayleys. They will not have to pay for the sewer service that will be installed at the same time as the water line. And PennDOT, we have been told, is still waiting for state funding to buy the homes along Station Road.
Drug enforcement agents in Chautauqua County, New York say 2 men face charges for their alleged roles in the area's biggest cocaine bust. Agents arrested 39-year-old Jose Cruz and 40-year-old Rafael Mendez Cruz today in the town of Ellicott. Investigators say the men were trying to sell 11 pounds of uncut cocaine with a street value of about $2 million. Agents say the men were using the Jamestown area as a drop-off point for an apparent cocaine dealing ring.
A gunman continues to hold children hostage in a Texas daycare center. The suspect has already released at least 60 other hostages since the siege began this afternoon, and police are still negotiating with him. CBS's Maureen Maher reports from Plano, Texas.
Parents were frantic as an armed man held his hostages inside this daycare center. Police surrounded the Rigsby Child Development Center, where the man armed with a .45 caliber gun took his captives.
When he came outside, I saw him with it.
You saw he had a gun?
Yeah. And then the teachers told us to go in the daycare, and we had to be quiet so that way he wouldn't hear us.
The fellow with the gun came out on the front porch and was waving the gun around wildly and was talking about killing a child and had a child in front of him at the time on the front porch.
There have been no reports of shots fired or injuries, and the gunman's demands are unclear. But relatives have said that he was having marital problems. His wife reportedly works at the daycare center, and 2 of his children go there each day.
We're not going to set any timelines on any type of resolutions. As you can tell, we're set to stay here as long as this will take. And we're willing to talk to him and resolve this peacefully as long as that takes.
Live TV reports showed some of the children being released and led away by parents. Other frantic parents rushed to see if their children were among the lucky ones released. Earlier in the standoff, police tossed a cell phone to the man. Continued dialogue led to release of some 60 hostages. But police are still not saying just how many children or adults still remain inside. Maureen Maher, CBS News, Plano, Texas.
Of course, Newswatch 35 will let you know what happens to the rest of the hostages. The jury has finished its second day of deliberations in the Terry Nichols trial. They'll be back in the morning trying to decide if Nichols helped plan the Oklahoma City bombing. Today, jurors asked for a list of the nearly 200 witnesses in the trial. They also had a question for the judge, though he isn't saying what it was. Nichols could get the death penalty if he's convicted of first-degree murder. The jury is also considering lesser charges of second-degree murder and manslaughter, charges that do not carry the death penalty.
If you heard our report and stayed away from one area of the Bayfront Highway this morning, here's what you missed. These motorists found out the hard way about the closing of the parkway between West 8th and Cranberry. Work crews are busy replacing an old bridge in that area. The work on the Bayfront stretch will continue until at least Friday, but there is good news. The closing will now begin at 9 a.m. and continue until 4 p.m. So morning and afternoon rush hour should be clear of traffic problems.
Please watch out tonight. We have fog, which could freeze on the road surface, but by tomorrow morning, mid-morning, it'll be beautiful. Details coming up.
Also on the way, adoption is now an option for gay couples in one nearby state, but not everyone is happy about it.
And health officials in Japan are blaming a cartoon for sending hundreds of children to the hospital.
You're watching Newswatch 35 Night Beat with Drew Sugars, Narissa Sugars, meteorologist Bill Schubert, and Gary Drapshow with sports.
Tonight on The Late Show, actors Greg Kinnear and Jaman Hansu. Tonight on Dave.
It's Buddy. That's right, Buddy.
Okay, tonight on Buddy.
It's okay. Even doctors get sick. Do you know what you need?
In the drugstore at Giant Eagle, you won't have to go out of your way to find a special medicine. The perfect card. Health and beauty items at competitive prices. Or a friendly, knowledgeable pharmacist who can read any doctor's handwriting.
He also wants orange juice, tissues, and chicken soup. I'll get this ready while you shop. Thanks.
The drugstore at Giant Eagle, a pharmacy, and a whole lot more.
I can't read your writing.
Oh, stop. It takes a giant to make life simple.
Hill's already low prices get incredibly lower during our 3-day holiday spectacular this Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. Take 30% off Hill's already low prices on all Trimetry. Get 30% off Hill's entire stock of already low-priced ladies' character fleece. Save 30% on feather and down comforters. Every men's flannel and winter weight shirt is now on sale. Plus, every already low-priced sweater is now on sale. And every coat is now on sale, too. Hurry in for Hill's 3-day holiday spectacular and lower than ever prices. This Thursday, Friday, and Saturday only at Hill's.
Happy holidays. Have you heard the news about those special Christmas credit terms for gifting the home at sensational savings this year at the new Arthur F. Schultz? Buy with no down payment, no interest, no monthly payment, nothing till $19.99 on everything at Arthur's. That's worth repeating. Buy anything, everything you need with no down payment, no interest, no monthly payment till $19.99. Or use Visa MasterCard delivery and set up for free even at holiday savings at Arthur's in Erie. See those ads in Wednesday's morning news and daily times, but you need to hurry. It ends Christmas Eve.
Why the long face, chum?
It's my car.
Let me show you how things could have been.
Chrysler and Plymouth presents It's a Wonderful Event. Now get $1,500 cash back on Plymouth Neon. Get Chrysler Cirrus LXI for $18,495. Or get up to $1,000 cash back on Plymouth minivans.
Say, are you an angel? You watch too many movies, friend.
When seconds count, turn to meteorologist Bill Schubert and the Newswatch 35 Storm Team.
Hey, good evening. Watch out for that freezing fog tonight. Boy, this poor guy is in deep thought here, huh? Well, maybe it's me sometimes. Hey, I thought it was going to snow and the forecast is fair. Well, anyhow. Hey, outside right now, we do have freezing fog, so please be careful tonight, okay? Temperature 28 degrees, 96% humidity with a steady barometer, winds at south at 4 miles per hour. On the old almanac today, we made it up to 41 and our low occurred just a while ago down to 27. And that's not too far from normal, just a little bit above. And that's the way it's going to be for the next few days, even warmer than this. And as we look at the regional temperatures, we see readings mostly in the 20s and low 30s. Our weather watchers all have readings at or below the freezing mark tonight. So again, be careful out there. There are some patches of thick fog. It is just not a great night to be out. It's not snowing or raining, but that fog can cause a lot of problems, especially below freezing temperatures. Nothing to show you on radar, but we do have our latest national satellite picture. And these clouds here will kind of move over us tomorrow, but they're only high cirrus clouds, these wispy clouds. The sun should be able to shine through them and raise those temperatures a little bit. But way out to the west, we have another storm that'll be battering the California coastline. That'll be affecting us in the latter part of this upcoming weekend. We look at the latest weather map as of 10 o'clock tonight. Well, it's just about like 6 o'clock. Nothing's really changed. We have the Arctic air up to the north. That's not going to bother us. We're going to get into that milder southwesterly flow of air later tonight and tomorrow, and temperatures will respond during the day tomorrow, getting back into the 40s. And another Pacific front coming our way, but I don't think that one's going to make it through here. Why? Let's take a look at the jet stream. What's happening here for tomorrow evening? The polar jet That's the jet that brings down the cold Arctic air. It's not coming out of northern Canada. It's coming off the Pacific Ocean and then diving down right along the northern border states, and that's keeping all the real cold air to the north. That's the southern branch of the jet stream that's very active. A big storm developing over the southwest, but ahead of it, mild Pacific air will be the rule for us. So that means tomorrow afternoon, that front that's over here will kind of flop down here just to our north. So it'll be in that nice mild Pacific air during the day tomorrow. Behind it, not all that cold. Still above normal temperatures everywhere, but this storm is still percolating over the southwest. And by Friday evening, that storm moves to the east. The front barely through here won't make any difference. It won't be all that cold. So for tonight, patchy low clouds and freezing fog. 19 over the interior, 30 near the lake shore. So please be careful tomorrow. A partly sunny day. Oh, it's going to be nice, 40 to 45 degrees. And for tomorrow night, partly cloudy, 30 to 37. Friday, a partly cloudy day up in the mid-40s. Saturday, increasing clouds late, 46, a little rain on Sunday. And we'll probably change the snow late Sunday night and Monday. Can't escape it all the time.
Santa called. You better make it good for his day. He said he held you directly responsible.
Oh, my. Okay.
He needs a safe landing for the sleigh.
Well, he goes, okay, I got the word now. I got to do it.
All right.
That's it, or else.
You have like a week.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thanks. Well, there's much more to come on the Newswatch 35 Night Beat. Gary's Rap Show shows you all the local college hoop action.
And how can you be too good at something? That's what one woman is asking after being rolled from her bowling league.
She was the child star of the holiday classic It's a Wonderful Life. Now hear why her real life was a tale of tragedy. Inside Edition.
Weekdays on 35 WSEE.
Happy holidays from the staff of Trinity.
Round up the posse and bring them all in. Our service will slap a smile on you the size of Texas. Our thick, juicy hand-cut steaks, falling off the bone ribs, barbecue chicken, and Spinner's fresh catch are sure to satisfy. Well, ain't nothing else like them. Mesquite Wood, Texas good. Give the gift of tenderness this holiday season. Ho, 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 so good. Spinner McKee's Steakhouse, 49th and Peach.
At True Value, we've got all the decorations and gifts you'll need to get your home ready for the holidays. And anything else that might help.
Santa!
Keep the holidays charged up with these Duracell batteries. Just $236 or $288. True Value. It's Christmas and help is just around the corner.
Well, when I tell people that I work at a dating service, they typically have a lot of questions. And one of them always is, does that really work? That one never fails to take me by surprise. Matchmaker International has been in business since 1974. Thousands of people have gone through our program, and most of them are happily involved in dating. I mean, a great number of the marriages that you read about in the paper are our couples. So when I'm asked if it really works, the answer is always a resounding yes. Yes, it definitely works.
That was really cool. Whoa, look at that guy. Hey, mister, why'd you do that? See this symbol? That's #1 plastic. You recycle these. Yeah, you from another planet or something?
Make sure recycling's not an alien concept in your neighborhood. Be in with the bin crowd. Recycle #1 plastic.
You're watching Newswatch 35 Night Beat.
There is both praise and criticism today for a New Jersey settlement making it easier for gay couples to adopt children. A judge in Newark approved a settlement that allows gay or unmarried couples to jointly adopt children. Gay rights advocates are calling it a landmark settlement, saying New Jersey is the first state to put gay couples on equal footing with married couples. Spokesman for the Family Research Council says the court is taking into account the rights of gay activists over the interests of children. A Michigan judge told two 10-year-olds today if he ever sees them in his court again, they and their parents will be paying the price. Kyton Schultz accused classmate Cassandra Rival of harassing and threatening her at school. A judge ordered the fifth graders to stay away from each other, but they were back in court today after Kyton says Cassandra called her naughty names. The judge says if he sees them again, he's going to send one or both of them to juvenile homes, and their parents could go to jail.
The Justice Department wants a federal judge to take more action against Microsoft. The government says the company is making a mere mockery of the judge's order that Microsoft stop forcing its internet browser into computers using its popular Windows software. Microsoft is appealing that order, but meanwhile, the company will comply by offering computer manufacturers a stripped-down, browser-free version of its Windows 95. Microsoft says it's the best they can do, even though that software will be out of date or simply will not work. One of America's largest retailers has taken customer service to another level. The folks at a Walmart supercenter in Goshen, Indiana, have provided a shelter for horse and buggies, the kind of transportation used by their Amish customers. Walmart paid for materials and Amish workmen built it. The store says the shelter is a courtesy for some of their best customers. About 25% of its business comes from the local Amish community. Doctors in Japan are blaming a TV cartoon for a strange wave of sickness.
That's where we begin tonight's World Watch. More than 600 people, most of them kids, were hospitalized after watching an animated program on TV. They apparently suffered epileptic-like seizures after a cartoon character flashed its sparkling eyes. The cartoon program is not shown here in the United States. Broadcasters in Japan issued a health warning to those viewing other episodes.
Winnie Mandela has declined a nomination for the deputy leadership of the ruling African National Congress. Political analysts say it was a shrewd move and would allow her to concentrate on going forward for a post on the party's influential National Executive Committee.
Just before South Koreans go to the polls to elect a new president, pop star Michael Jackson was on hand supporting each of the candidates and drumming up election enthusiasm by attending a late presidential debate. Jackson was in South Korea to follow up on a possible investment. He's looking into buying a ski resort.
And in Moscow, the city's zookeepers are denying reports that the recent freezing temperatures have forced them to give the elephants vodka. They say they would never consider such a move, as alcohol opens up the pores and would make the elephants more vulnerable to the cold. And that's tonight's World Watch. Nala the lioness is back in her pen, and everything is back to normal in the Florida resort city of Kissimmee. A search helicopter spotted the 450-pound lioness earlier today. Then zookeepers managed to subdue Nala with a tranquilizer dart. They say she's doing fine after her two-day romp. She escaped Monday as zoo workers were making adjustments to her cage. A wildlife official says the big cat didn't go too far away because the zoo is the only home she's ever known.
I want to run into that cat in the dark alley.
Hey, speaking of animals, the otters were in action tonight.
How'd they do?
Well, they haven't been doing too well lately. They tried to make some changes, and we'll tell you whether those winds of change were good ones. Sports is next. Stay with us.
The Olympic Games, a spirit we embrace. Moments that last a lifetime. In February, that spirit returns to CBS. The 18th Olympic Winter Games from Nagano, Japan. Share a moment with the world.
Skiers and Christmas shoppers, Erie Sports Store's 12-hour Christmas sale is Thursday, December 8th.